All right, we're checking out a new electric scooter here from ENGWE. This is the Y600, and if you saw my review of the S6, I think it was almost maybe 2 years ago. It's very similar. There's one huge difference in the way the handle or the stem collapses down. That's pretty different, but otherwise you have this sort of the same kind of philosophy or design. You have a folding seat stem there that goes down, and the handlebar of course folds down, and the handlebars also, or the grips fold down as well. Point those out here shortly. They're quite a bit, it's a little bit different, and actually everything about this model is an improvement over the S6. We have a bigger motor. It's 600 watts now instead of 500 watts. Bursts to 830 watts. So I think the last one was like 500. We have a bigger battery now as well, 48 volts still. I kind of wish it was 52 volts, but perhaps in the next version they'll upgrade that. Still 48 volts, but it's a little bit bigger now. It's 18.2 amp hours. So they're estimating a range of about 43.5 miles. That's under ideal circumstances, of course. And of course, with that bigger motor, we have a little bit more torque. It's 28 Newton meters now. So overall, the hill climbing ability of this one is going to be much better. It's 15 degrees incline. I believe the S6 was 11 or 12 degrees. So going to have a lot more ability to climb hills with this one. So the deck here is 9 inches wide, and it's not that long for a, like I guess you would call for most scooters, but for a sit-down scooter, it's fine. It does have the ability to remove the seat post here, so you can replace that with I guess a footrest, so you can put your back foot there. But the deck length is only like 16, 18 inches, something like that. Not super long, so I did try and ride this standing up because it does have a height adjustment here on the handlebar. I didn't feel too comfortable in the stand-up position because the handlebar is sloped back here. So typically in all these stand-up scooters, the handle, basically the stem here will go pretty much straight up. But this one, in this case, because it's, I guess, primarily meant for people to sit down, it does kind of lean back. So they have some video on their product page of a guy riding this off-road and in standing up without the seat, of course, with the seat removed. So it's definitely possible, but I personally don't feel that comfortable. And just like the S6, we do have a rear suspension here, and this one has this like nice red trim all around. There is a black on black version of this model. So if you don't like the red trim, you want everything to be blacked out, they have a total black version. But I personally like the red trim. You got the little red trim here. You unscrew these here, and then the handlebars will fold down. Got a nice red trim here on the height adjustment for the handlebar. And looking over on the other side here, we have red trim on the disc brakes here. These are mechanical disc brakes, just regular standard piston mechanical disc brakes. I think these are like, I think it's a 120 millimeter rotor. And so you got a rotor in the front and in the rear. Again, more red accents on the brake caliper there. Red accent here on the folding mechanism. So there's gonna be a security pin here. So you're gonna wanna twist this and then release it. And then this lever will go down so that you can fold down the scooter. I'll show you that a little bit later, but that pin's there to prevent that from accidentally happening, because you don't want that to happen while you're riding. Of course, you'll have a really bad day. You do have a seat height adjustment here as well on the seat post, and this has also like on the S6, it has the seat post suspension as well. So this has a very comfortable ride. If you're going to take it off-road, you're going to have, all the suspension here is going to absorb a lot of the noise. And I have ridden a little bit already. I've noticed that the front suspension is less noisy than on the S6. That was kind of rattly. This one's pretty solid. I'm kind of wondering if they switch it to a hydraulic fork suspension in the front there. I'm not sure. But it's definitely a lot quiet and definitely works a lot better. The tires on here are also improved. They're a little bit bigger now. They're 10 inches still in terms of the overall tire size, but the width has gone from, I think, 2.75 inches to 4 inches now. And we have a kind of an off-road tread here. So as I mentioned, you can do off-roading in this one. And with the suspension, the ride's gonna be just fine. Got a really bright headlight here in the front. You can see it even has like heat sink, little fins there for heat sink for all the heat it's gonna be emitting. And you got a brake light here in the back. You have lights here on the side. This is for the turn signals. I'll show you that here in a second. Here's a look at the handlebar. You got some ergonomic grips. All of these have little bolts here that you have to tighten down. And when you first take it out of the box, they're all loose because you can adjust the angles of all of these things, so just keep that in mind, as well as the little instruments as well. So you got a headlight here, headlight button, you got a horn button, you got turn signal buttons here. This metal aluminum piece here unscrews, and then you can pop out the grip and then fold it down. You got a voltage meter here, and you turn on the bike like this. Reads the battery voltage, and then you have your bike or scooter controller here, and power that on. And you can adjust some things on here. For example, I already changed mine from kilometers to miles on the readout. Also, the max speed is limited to like 15 miles an hour on the stock configuration. I guess it's to, you know, satisfy local regulations. All right, well, quick tutorial on how to switch your odometer from miles to kilometers. Turn on the key here, then you power up the controller, press the mode and the power buttons together and hold. PO2 is the first menu that comes up, and I have it set to miles right now. So I think it's up and down for these two buttons here to switch it. And we'll go back to miles here. And I think you just long press the power button, turns it off. Let's go and turn it back on again. That should save it. And then to change the speed on here, so let me just show you what the current speed limits are. So in gear 1, speed level 1, it's something pretty slow. It's like, yeah, it's like 3 miles an hour. Very, very slow. So I'm gonna increase it, of course. Level 2 is 9 miles an hour. Level 1's almost unusable. And then level 3 is 15 miles an hour. So to switch this, you have to turn off everything. You're gonna pull on the right brake lever while you turn on the scooter, turn on the computer. Then you're going to pull on the trigger 3 times. And now we can go up to 30 miles an hour. That's what the controller is limited to. So now that's what that is. Let's see what the first level is. Yeah, 12 miles an hour, that's much better. Level 2 is 22 miles an hour. So obviously once I got my weight on here and I'm actually riding it, those numbers are going to be different. We'll see that in the riding test. So we'll do the speed ride test now in the higher speed levels here, and I'll give you my thoughts as we're riding around. All right, so super sunny, probably not going to be able to read the display on the bike or the scooter. Hopefully the speedometer reading will show up. I'm going to start off in level 1, and yeah, this little trigger throttle, not my favorite, but right away we're up to 9 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. And yeah, it's a little bit slower than with no weight on it, of course. Level 2, 18, 19, 18, 19. So I think for me, level 2 is plenty fast for this little guy. But yeah, let's go ahead and do level 3 here on street. All right, pop it into level 3. Definitely way more power than the S6 for sure. Already up to 20, 22, 23. 24, 25. All right, slow down a little bit around this curve. All right, let's continue to see if we can build up more speed here down this longer road. I do weigh a little over 200 pounds, so struggling to, yeah, it's 27 I see is the max. Honestly, on this little guy, it's a little scary. All right, so just gonna do a quick ride and just talk about how I feel about this scooter. I'm not a big fan of the trigger throttle on here. You can partially pull the throttle and get less speed than the max speed. So I'm in level 2, I'm getting like 12 miles an hour here, which is fine, but I obviously can just go down to level 1, and if I pull the throttle all the way, I think that'll give me 12 miles an hour. So you can kind of proportionally control the throttle, which is nice, but I don't know, I prefer the half twist throttles or trigger throttles, or I'm sorry, like thumb throttles versus this finger throttle. So I'm getting like 10 miles an hour in level 1 here. And for me, maybe this is a little bit too slow. Obviously, when you don't unlock the scooter, the 3 or 4 miles an hour is just way too slow. But level 2, it takes you up to 17, looks like 18. I would have, it'd been nice to have like something like 15, 16, but obviously if I go back and lock the bike, I can go on level 3 and then get 16 miles an hour. So I suppose I could always do that, because 18's a little fast, at least for me. On these small wheels, it is, I don't know, to me, I mean, it feels stable and everything. It's just that I just kind of worry that I might have an out of control situation and then might end up crashing and falling off and hurting myself. But the ride is really nice on this one. I thought the ride was pretty good on the S6. This one's even better. Let's go over this little manhole. I mean, you don't feel anything on the road hardly ever. Let me just go over the sidewalk here. Yeah, it doesn't, you know you went over a bump, but you don't feel it. The seat post suspension plus the dual suspension in front and rear. I mean, it's kind of almost overkill. If you're riding it on streets like this, it's super smooth, so you could definitely go a little off-road in this one, but I'm not sure how much off-road you could do. I would say some mild off-road. Anything like, you know, extreme off-road, I probably would avoid. It's got plenty of power and plenty of speed for sure. I've yet to do any hill testing with this one. There's no real like major hills around where I live. But I will take this on an adventure at some point in the future. So if you stick around, I'll have probably some more content on this one later, because I'll be keeping this one because it does fold up really nice. I can kind of just store it in a corner of my garage. It doesn't take up a lot of space. But yeah, overall, ride is nice, power is nice. It folds down to a small size. So overall, there's not a lot to complain. Price is really good too. I think it's like $550 right now. But you might want to jump on this before the tariffs kick in. I think they're going to kick in about a month from now. And I think all the prices for all these e-scooters and e-bikes and everything are going to jump probably about $100 to $200 at a minimum. Obviously, the more expensive it is, the more the tariff is going to be. It's kind of sad, but that's the reality of the world we live in right now. Anyway, I think I'll cover for this model. Check it out. Link will be in the video description. The ENGWE Y600. I like it. Would definitely recommend it. And if you can get it for under $550, it would be a really good deal for what you get for in terms of specs and features. That'll do it for this video. Talk to you guys in the next one.